Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Kids on Brooms, right here at Proficiency Bonus. I'll be your narrator for this tale, Professor Fern. It's been no while. So good to see everyone once again. As we get back into our adventure, our heroes, or a group of students and faculty, decided they were going to go on a field trip for defense against the dark arts on this Friday evening. And it appears that Professor Inkwood decided that they were going to go on an expedition to try to exterminate and perhaps capture some red caps within the forbidden swamp forests just outside of campus. So, I'm going to back off and let you take it away, Professor Inkwood.
Well, I trust that everyone is prepared. I wouldn't have taken you along if I did not believe that you were capable of both defending yourself and destroying some redcaps. So, don't believe in yourself, believe in me, because I believe in you. Let's go.
How are you guys getting to the forest?
Walking?
Yeah, I was assuming just walking.
Walking.
Can walk.
I really want to see that kid use his broom.
You can walk. There are a couple of spots where you're either going to have to fly over marshland waters, or they do have duck-shaped boats that you can take through some of the marsh to get to certain areas of land. So there will be a little bit of over-the-water kind of travel, whether you want to do your broom or something else.
Can I cast Jesus and just walk on the water?
Yes, of course. If you'd like to cast water walking, yes, you may do that. Before you guys leave campus, Jasper, as you're walking by, you guys are walking outside and walking by the castle grounds. Attached to the backside of a large stone wall that kind of sticks out awkwardly of this strange tree that you guys are located in. It's almost like this school is constantly like changing and growing out of limbs and stuff like that, and parts of it are stone, parts of it are made of tree. It's just a really strange place here, Weeping Terrace. And attached to this stone, there's these large mushrooms. And one of them has eyes and a mouth and looks at you, Jasper, and is like, "Hey, got any jerky in that bag? I'm hungry."
Not for you.
Okay, what about something else then? I even take fruit. You got any fruit?
No.
Candy? I like candy.
Nope.
Oh, I oughta.
There's candy over there. I'm casting a charm spell.
Okay. It looks like this mushroom is trying to like pull it, like walk towards you, but it can't because it's a mushroom, and it's growing out of the wall. But you can charm it. Go ahead and make a charm check. You are going to. The difficulty on this is going to be how long do you want it to be charmed for, Ebony?
Just long enough for us to walk away and leave us alone.
Okay, so just like a minute. You got it?
Yeah.
You got it. Where are my charts at? Keep skipping over the page. Okay. Difficulty on this is going to be an average 8.
15.
15. You succeed. How are you charming it again?
I'm convincing it that there's candy over that way, not our way.
It looks over that way. Candy.
There you go.
And then turns around and looks, and you guys are already like walking away. Hey, could you give me the candy from over there? Don't walk away.
Bye.
It's going, And then another mushroom like chimes up and goes,
hard.
"Would you shut up over there? Shut your mouth!" Huh? They said there's candy over there. Candy? Really? Oh. And now it's like 4 of them are starting to do that now.
Oh boy.
I assume as Ink is very stylishly walking across the water, I am in a duck boat, which is way too small for me. So I'm like in a duck boat like this. As I say, classic mistake. It's best not to engage with him at all. You'll never hear the end of it now.
Thank you for that, Anthony.
I imagine a large duck boat filled with several students just like casually goes behind you as you're like, and they're all like staring at you in this small duck boat.
Yeah, I'm just in one by myself.
We'll go back.
I do not go in a duck boat. I do not go in a duck boat.
Okay.
No.
It seems like Simon has hopped on his broom along with a friend of his who goes by the name of... Where's my document? There it is. Alan Ravens pulls out his broom as well. He hops on and they kind of take off over the water a little bit.
Seeing our professor do the water walking thing, I am also going to do that.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. I will consider this spells, so I want you guys to make spell checks as you guys are casting water walking. So, Professor Inkwood, this is going to be... moving in magical ways is considered flight. So we're going to call this
Oh god, I'm
flight.
not good at these.
This is going to be called
So speaking of, because I want to cast Ultra Self to give myself, like, devil wings to fly across.
Interesting.
Is that flight too?
That one actually might be something different. That might be grit.
Oh, no, no, no.
Let's see. Where is my list? It's in here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. No, that's not it. Spell checks. Let me look for that chart really quick. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna have the other two roll really quick.
Yeah.
We'll settle that, and then we'll find that it's in the book here somewhere, but I'm having a difficult time finding the page.
What's the...
Okay, the difficulty on this is going to be 5, 8, 9. Reef, I believe you probably would have cast this spell on yourself before. Jasper, how much experience would you have with this spell?
Well, considering it's a flight spell, probably not much, because I am terrible at flight.
Okay. Professor Inkwood, your difficulty is going to be a 9. Jasper's is going to be a 12.
Oh no.
So what you guys are going to do is
hope you explode.
Roll your flight, and you can also add a D4 magic die to your roll as well.
Okay. How do adversity tokens?
You can expend
how do
one.
they work?
It's a +1 bonus for every one you spend. Unless you have an ability or a strength that makes it worth more or, can be used in different situations.
I got a 16.
Gotcha.
16. Excellent.
Okay.
I just have this headcanon that, like, in the canopy of the forest, there's, like, vines that will just smack people down if they try and fly through. Like, that's just, I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah,
like,
this
if you can
part,
see low enough flying, you'll be okay. But...
This
if
part,
I'm over water.
Over water is relatively okay because there's not a ton of trees here. But when you guys get closer to the foresty part, your fears are probably correct. right.
Okay.
Let's see what we
So
got.
I rolled a 2 on the normal die, but then I rolled a 4 on the magic die. Does that?
Unfortunately, the magic die does not
Magic
explode.
die doesn't explode.
So that's a
Dang it.
6.
So that's
So you're
6.
you're halfway there. Now, here's the deal. The rest of your teammates are with you, and this is not kind of like a snap decision sort of thing. So if your teammates want to try and help you, they could narratively help you and then grant you adversity tokens to help you succeed. Or you can just fail and something funny happens and you gain an adversity token for failing.
I would need 6 adversity tokens. So I don't know.
Well, you can spend all 3
And
of
you
yours.
have 3. You have all 3 of yours.
That would be 9, and then I
Yeah.
need 3 more, so that's 6 total adversity tokens. So
Uh,
3 extra ones.
I mean, I can give you 1 if other people are willing to chip in.
Yeah. Can we only gift 1? Can we gift more than 1?
You can give them as many as you want. They're yours to give as you see fit.
I'll give the other 2 if I see that he is like plunging into the water. I'll try and like buff
Okay.
his spell.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. Jasper, I want you to narrate your casting of the spell and your failure. And
Okay.
for the other 2, Professor Inkwood and for Ebony, I want you to narrate how you help him to achieve his goal of getting on top of the water.
Okay. So I would basically just try and copy the spell Inkwood did,
Okay.
but the mushrooms kind of distracted me, so I didn't see the full like motion or the whatever kind of thing. So I do it wrong,
Okay.
and then I go to step into the water, and normally I'm just wearing like basketball shorts is what Jasper normally wears, but since we're going into like a forest, he's wearing cargo pants and like boots.
Mhm.
So he probably gets his boots wet. I don't know how deep this water is right at the shore, so I don't know if it's just like a straight drop off.
It's probably ankle deep
Or-
for a couple feet, but then it does drop
Yeah.
off pretty extensively. Yeah.
So he probably gets his like pants wet a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's confidently stepping
bottom
into the
and stuff.
water, and his boots are
Mhm.
going under the water. And Professor Inkwood, you seeing this, know that you're not getting wet at all. So something must have gone wrong with the casting of the spell.
Upon hearing a splash behind me, as someone steps into water instead of over water, I sort of look back and sorry, yeah, that was the abridged spell. You need to do like the full, motion, whatever it is, and I would show how to like actually do it instead of the like I have a cantrip saved in my wand, so I can just kind of cast it.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so you aid. Ebony, how are you aiding with the other 2 adversity tokens in this essence?
I don't know if I have to roll for this, but I'm gonna try and like give him a little bit of a levitate boost, like a short drow levitate boost to get him
Okay.
back up.
Okay.
Hands
I
under
was-
the armpits.
Yeah, like
I will say, since this is part of his check and you're spending adversity tokens, I'm not going to make you roll for it.
yeah.
You just spend
Okay.
the tokens and that kind of happens and
Okay.
that narratively takes place. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are now comfortably on top of the water now, Jasper, as you felt that if you would have taken 2 more steps, you probably would have been waist deep in this stuff.
Gotcha. Cool.
And you guys are.
So question for you was
Sure.
the flight or was it flight or was it grit or what like
Oh, yes.
if I were
yes,
to
yes,
like
I forgot about that.
like
Leech.
transform?
Yeah,
If not,
there's-
I'll do like a flight spell then
You got it.
if it's too confusing.
No,
If-
there's
if
there's
a lot of
some
people
paragraphs
noticed-
on here that say what spells are what.
Oh, sorry.
If a lot of people noticed my mistake, he would just definitely just be like pull his hoodie strings and just be like kind of.
Oh, buddy!
This is why I collect you guys.
What? Go ahead and describe the essence of your spell one more time for me, Christy, for Ebony.
So if it's a flight spell, I wanted to like give myself like leathery devil
You
wings.
kind of want to change
for goth
yourself.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So is that transfer? Is that different than flight?
No, I'm trying to look.
Because otherwise, I'll just dimension door.
It might be flight. Yeah, we're gonna call it flight. That seems to fit
All right.
fit better than all the other ones. Yeah.
All right. Fair. Okay. And you said it's a 9 difficulty, or is this different because it's slightly flavored differently?
7. You just wanted to last a few minutes?
To get over to the other side, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, difficulty's 8 on this one.
8. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, 11.
11, so you
On a
succeed.
D12. Hell
so,
yeah.
So you indeed do that, and you are able to basically use those new features of yours to make your way into the water.
Over the water.
Oh, over the water. Yes, absolutely. Over the water. And go ahead and make a brains check for me as well.
Sure.
Since you are currently the only one flying.
Okay. 4. Is it a magic check as well, or no?
No, just a stat.
4.
4. They're quite a bit ahead of you, but the two individuals on the brooms, Simon Kettles and Alan Ravens, seem to be flying side by side, kind of like two like Harley Davidson cyclists riding down the highway illegally, like they're not supposed to. That drives me crazy every time I see them. But they're riding down, riding in front of you, and it looks like they're like hushed talking back and forth. But with all the commotion going on and the like wrestling in the trees and all the classmates and students and stuff talking down below as they're walking on the water or going on these little duck boats and things like that, you can't really hear what they're saying.
Oh wait, it's a 4. It explodes, right?
A roll a 4 on a D4?
Yeah.
Yeah. So roll again.
Oh. All right. Another 4! I'm not even kidding!
Another 4! Roll again! Another 4.
3. So, no, 3. 11.
11. You do hear them.
Oh.
Here's what they're saying.
This is why I need to learn the rules.
No, you're all good. You're all good. So Alan is talking to Simon. You get a little bit closer and you start to hear what they're saying. I heard he's been up to no good over there at that greenhouse. I mean, my parents think he's trying to, I don't know, conjure up some kind of giant plant monster that's going to eat us all up or something. And then Simon responds back, I don't know. It seems strange to me. You know what? He's going to get fired, Alan. Don't worry about it. We won't need to worry about it. I mean, once the Council of Ethical Wizards and Witches starts investigating what he's been up to, he's as good as toast. Surely, whatever he is, he's up to no good, and the school's not going to allow it. I mean, Weeping Terrace is just going to have him bombed out of here in no time. Don't worry about it. It'll all be good.
Who's the one that said that he's going to get booted?
Simon Kettles.
Fucking Simon. All right. Hate this kid. I'm going to command him. I'm gonna fly up a little closer and command him, like, you want to dive bomb right now. You want to dive into that water.
Oh, you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
try to make
and
him
charm
dive?
him to just.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, make a spell check. This is going to be he's going to be able to resist it because you're casting against another sentient, intelligent being. Well, we can argue that he's intelligent.
Sentient at least.
Sentient at least, yes. This is going to be definitely charm with your D4. 6, 7, difficulties 8, average 8.
19.
19. Oh goodness gracious! I don't even think he can resist. Let's see what he gets. Exploding dice help. He does not resist. And you rolled significantly higher, so you have another narrative benefit that you can add to the success if you'd like to. Something else spectacular can happen as well as you succeeding on this.
I want the other kid to be more scared of me and more convinced that I'm a high-level caster. Like, I want the other kid to see this, like, be fully aware that I'm the one that did this, and be scared shitless.
Okay. So as you cast this on Simon, Simon just goes and dives about 35 feet downward. And Jasper, you're just walking across with your boots, and all of a sudden, about 10 feet away from you, some kid just dive bombed with their broom into the swampy water as fast as they possibly could.
I'm gonna walk over to where they entered the water and just kind of like squat down, and when they peek back up, you okay, bud?
This water's filthy. What's that?
Why'd you go for a swim then?
I didn't do it myself, sir.
I look at the other kid. And I'm just like,
he goes,
better stop those rumors. And I keep flying.
Oh, yeah, sure. And he whips by and he lands on one of the other duck boats, and he kind of just blends in with the other kids just for a moment. And Simon looks up at you, Jasper.
Kettles is in.
Oh yeah.
As Kettles is in the water.
Yeah, Kettles is in the water. He looks up at Jasper. Can you help me out?
I come floating past in my duck boat. And I like to just reach out a hand and just sort of by the scruff of his robe, just sort of like yoinksy doodles.
you pick him up.
Yoinksy doodles.
Like
water.
Had a bit of a spill there, didn't you, young lad?
He's like,
be careful.
It's like, oh, my broom, and he reaches down and grabs his broom really quick that was kind of floating next to him. And he is just drenched, like soaked from head to toe. Water just dripping, swamp water just dripping everywhere from him. As you pull him out, I guess a lion with their young by the back of the neck, kind of.
I see it happening. I'm just like, oh no.
Oh no.
You really shouldn't have done that.
Oh no.
Professor, did you see what she just did? You gonna let that happen in your class?
I
rotate him around to face him towards Inkwood.
I believe I did tell you that it was dangerous to fly in these woods.
Because of the vines, not because of Ebony.
Why would one of your classmates have smacked you into the water?
I don't know. Earlier this week, she put a zipper on my mouth. You missed that one.
Well, that sounds like tattling then.
Another duck boat full of students is like, ooh, as they're slowly floating by. And he glances over. It's like, looks at Halifax. Let go of me.
He's just dropping back in the water.
No.
So close.
I sort of like, I'll like reach over and take it, just grab his broom like from his other hand, and I just sort of like gently place it back underneath him, and then I go like, there you go. And I give him one big like pet.
Nice.
And just send him back on his way.
Back on his way. He's got like just streams of pouring water coming off of him as he's, basically he starts like swinging circles over top to try to air dry a little bit from this whole experience. as he seems to be more ashamed of being embarrassed in front of everybody, as Reef basically just shut him down in front of his classmates.
I would yell up to him or call up to him. You know that in order to make claims that will be taken seriously, you need proof. Bring me that, and we'll discuss it.
He just grumbles under his breath a little bit, and then he flies down, and he lands on the same larger duck boat that Alan had landed on, and seems to give up the whole flying thing for right now.
I mean, that has been my classroom policy for as long as I've been a teacher, so...
You guys do make it to the outskirts of the Forbidden Forest on the other side of the marsh. As the water seems to end, you guys make your way onto the shoreline. It seems to be pretty thick with vegetation. There are, Professor Inkwood, you would know that there are several larger animal trails that lead through the Forbidden Forest, but not really anything that is man-made, so to speak. There's not really any like trails because they discourage people to enter the Forbidden Forest due to the dangers that lie within. But you are here gathered with your class of students to take them on a field trip. with your professor friend,
there are two
Oleander
locations.
Halifax.
Yeah. There are two locations where redcaps have been reported. They are both on the edge of the forest. There is no need to enter deeper into the forest, especially if you wish to remain intact and sane. We will start on the northern group, and then as long as we are able to take care of that, we'll head to the southern site. But if not, or if it takes too long, then we will suffice with clearing out the northern side alone, as that is a larger colony that has been reported.
Okay. Did you say it was the northern site that had the larger colony? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, this site in the north, Professor Inkwood, name a landmark or something that Professor Inkwood would know that this colony is sort of located around.
There is a stone, maybe 10 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet around, kind of jagged, but on, at exactly 11:02 p.m., the moon hits it just right, and it will glow in a lot of rainbow sparkling colors.
Awesome.
And it is about a quarter mile beyond that.
Awesome. Now, was your plan to have you, Professor Inkwood, would you like to split up your class and have half the class go to the northern site and half the class go to the southern site? Or do you want your whole class to stick together and experience it as a group?
We're going to stick together because this is the first field trip of the year. Later on in the semester, probably split people, but at this point, I believe that they're all capable, but just in case, I figure we should all stick together.
Professor Halifax, you're probably pretty familiar with the Forbidden Forest due to your occupation and your specialty. Sure. What do you think would be a prominent landmark in the southern site that Professor Inkwood is describing here in the Forbidden Forest?
I believe, if I remember from the bit of a briefing that our Linky gave me beforehand, I believe the southern site is nearby to where there is a naturally occurring grove of exploding crab apples, which are quite useful when harvested and milled down into a fine powder after being dehydrated, but is not great when they've been a bunch of red caps have gotten their hands on them. So that might be something. That might be something to look out for as we make our way further south.
Excellent. So, from what you guys are telling me, I'm not writing this adventure anymore. You guys are. So, from what you are telling me, the northern site has a nice jagged stone that at midnight or at 11:02 p.m. when the moon hits it. 11:02. Very, very particular time. The moon hits it, and rainbow colors seem to cascade from it, creating an interesting magical location. In the southern Rainbow Rock. I like that.
The gay rock.
The Rainbow Rock. And we've got
We used to have a love rock at my
the southern
house.
site is being tormented by red caps, and it's also the grove of a bunch of exploding crabapple trees, which should be interesting. Either way.
Good reason to start with the north side.
North side. So you guys are going towards Rainbow Rock first? Okay. Excellent. Go ahead, and I want everybody to make a brains check. This is a stat-based check for me, as you guys are all kind of working together, moving through the Forbidden Forest. 3.
I'm not very smart.
I got an 8.
An 8. Nice.
An 18.
18.
There's our teacher.
That's
My
fine.
best stat.
5?
5?
All right.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. So, Professor Inkwood, you're leading the way. You're pretty confident that you've made your way through this forest before. You're making your way through, and you, after traveling for a little ways, you discover something that seems a little off. There is a patch of plant life to the left of this small, like, overgrown, it'd be like a larger animal trail, so it's just like beaten path, so to speak. Off the side, you notice there are some plants, and they look very similar to the ones that were planted in Oleander Halifax's greenhouse. It seems like they're growing right in the base of where the roots of a tree are, and it looks like there's about 10 to 12 of them kind of growing as a group right there, but they're very small. They're not, but they stick out like a sore thumb because they are like Venus fly traps in an area there where they don't normally grow naturally.
Upon noticing that, I would call a halt.
Okay.
Halifax,
I
got something for you to look at.
will mosey on over there.
Those
Would you?
look familiar to
Oh.
you.
Well, isn't this interesting?
They shouldn't be here.
No, they
They weren't
should
here 2
not.
days ago.
I'm going to before I do anything else. After Inkwood has pointed out these small ones to me, I'm gonna take a second look around the vicinity here. I would really hate to walk ourselves into a sort of messing with the babies, and then Mama Snake Fly Trap comes back. So I'd like to really be as sure as I possibly can that there's not a big one hiding around here somewhere.
Okay. Go ahead and make an additional brains check.
Can
As
I
you're,
assist?
you can.
Anything that happens in this?
And honestly, you guys, this isn't like a snap decision type thing. So as he's looking around, if there's any way you want to help him, you can always give your adversity tokens to him as well to help you succeed.
I'll definitely announce this out loud. I'll be like,
This is only going to be this difficulty on this check is only going to be a 6.
All right. Well then, I got a 4, and I will burn 2 of my adversity tokens to get that 6.
Okay, you got it. So taking a look around in more depth, you do not see anything in the trees. It seems It is very dark in the Forbidden Forest. The bark of the trees look blackened in places. It's just a very mysterious and dark place. You don't even hear anything rustling or moving too much around when normally you can usually hear some howls or growls in the distance. It seems rather quiet tonight. But it definitely looks to you as if these, you would know these were definitely planted here. And from your experience with the first ones, and it's been a couple of days, you know that their growth rate is very quick. The other ones that were in that pot that you had actually grew to full size within like 3 days. What would have Halifax have done with those fully grown ones? Would you have stuck them in the same cage with the other one? Would you have kept them?
I think that, in all likelihood, though I am fascinated by all magical creatures of the horticultural variety, it is probably irresponsible to keep too many of these things, especially considering I now know how fast they grow, to keep too many of these things floating around in the greenhouses, as it has already been proven that we have some rogue students making a habit of going places they're not supposed to be. So I believe that I probably would have contacted the Louisiana Magical Game and Wildlife Commission and had them come along and remove these to take them back to the agricultural extension where they can look into these as well.
They seem to be very disappointed at how hostile and irritable these creatures were. You've had to call them a couple times to gather up something that's gone terribly wrong in your own way, but that most of the time that's happened, it's been pretty accidental for you. You've never done anything like extremely malicious on purpose. But this was something that they were like, you know what, this is ridiculous. This shouldn't happen. So they were disappointed about it.
Yeah, I did try to make it extremely clear that I did not invent these, though I don't know if they believe me.
That's right.
Oh, no. And I probably pointed out some equally horrible botanical creation. Be like, no, I made that one. I didn't do these ones though.
That's it.
No, if they grow that quickly and are that aggressive, I would not be comfortable keeping them around where students might gain access to them. I only keep horrible, dangerous creatures in the vicinity of students when I'm fairly certain that I can keep everybody safe.
Actually, Professor Halifax, as you start to approach these things, even though Professor Inkwood was relatively close to them when they discovered these creatures, as you get closer, you notice they all kind of slow, even though they're really small, they all seem to slowly turn towards you. And it seems like their focus is directed towards you and almost ignore Professor Inkwood altogether.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they've got some kind of a pheromonal response. Maybe there's something on me from the other one that's attracting their attention. And I'll take my head off and I sort of, as I approach them, I'm like holding the head out like this, doing this to see if I can get there. If they follow the hat as I get closer and closer.
A couple of them kind of look over to the hat, but it's not like it's almost as if it's just you. They're just fixed on you, no matter what.
They're like little ones still.
They're like about the size of the ones in the pot They're not the ones that you had to actually physically wrestle
right.
and put in a bear hug.
Based on my examination of the specimens that I did collect, these Venus flytrap mouths, are they like venomous in any way?
They did not seem to be venomous. They do seem like their jagged teeth, once they get larger, would definitely hurt. And they would, much like a snake would, probably just swallow you whole, and you would slowly digest.
That's nasty.
Interesting. I'm gonna like poke out like a finger towards one of them to see if to kind of get a better gauge of the hostility of these like they're following me, but are they following me and hostile, or are they like entrenched by me?
Yeah, sure.
So I want to see if one of them's gonna bite me when I like stick a finger in it.
Yeah, as you stick your finger close to one of them, 3 of them try to go and try to snap around your finger, but they all miss as they're kind of still in the dirt of the ground, and then they just slowly kind of just shift back and forth a little bit. Now their Venus flytrap mouth starts to slowly open back up once again, as you can see the inside of the Venus flytrap just looking at you, swaying slowly back and forth.
I don't like this.
No, a lot of these are here. They're clearly not native to this ecosystem. And as you said, they were in here a few days ago. Now, based on how quickly the other ones grew, it didn't take more than a couple of days for those little ones to grow to the size of the one I had to fight after it was in my greenhouse a few days ago. We can't leave these here.
No. I don't know that it's best for you to take care of them, though, considering how they seem to be more interested in you. Do you think you could take the students back, and I will bubble these and at least walk them back in a contained manner?
Yeah, I certainly can, unless you want to simply try and destroy them.
I'm happy to try and destroy them. I don't know, I feel like there are things happening that are unknown, and I think getting the students out of the area quickly would be important.
Question, DM, can I do like an insight check to my classmates?
Sure.
Because I was aware of when, like, I was there when we found them, so...
Sure. Let's, we're gonna call this a charm check based on your stat. That seems probably the most fitting stat to fit insight in this game. It's either charm or brains, probably, but...
Natural 20, does that explode?
Explodes! Roll again.
Oh, snap.
This is such a Christy stat! 36.
36. You've just went off of the difficulty paper. 36 does not exist in this game, but you did it.
You are God now.
You're kind of watching Professor Halifax and Professor Inkwood. Are you guys trying to keep this hush hush from the rest of the students, like as you've discovered this, or are they kind of aware of what's going on? Something's been discovered, and you guys are having a discussion about what to do next.
I mean, I'm assuming that they would have noticed that we stopped and probably were paying attention.
We're looking around.
Yeah, I mean, we're like, we're like standing in front of the base of a tree with our backs to everybody, just having like a conversation for a few minutes. So clearly, some stuff is going on.
Yeah, shit's going down.
Yeah. Ebony.
But I mean, we're not announcing, oh, these are the evil plants we found earlier. What do we do now? You know.
Ebony, with a 36, you discover a few things.
I'm sorry, my God.
You're all good. You're good. I'm gonna combine this as a little bit of insight, a little bit of perception. Because you rolled off the rules chart, so I'm gonna add some of my own to this. You discover that as they're having this conversation, several students have grouped up and they're talking about, like, they're just talking about, oh, what did they find over there? I mean, you think it's dangerous? Of course it's dangerous. We're in the Forbidden Forest. What are you, kind of idiot? And there's just all these groups like forming up. You've kind of made your way over to Jasper, and Jasper's kind of, I don't know how Jasper would be responding in this situation.
He would probably like starting to like make his way up towards the professors because he's just curious.
Yeah, and Ebony's probably with you, I would think. I think you two have this camaraderie going on, and you're slowly kind of creeping up. See, maybe if you can listen in on some of the conversation, because Ebony, if you've actually seen the aftermath and you've seen one of these things before.
That's why I'm asking insight.
So, yeah, you're kind of looking over, and you can almost see what they're looking at, and you've seen it before. And it's when you turn around that you notice that actually 4 students are no longer with the group. And you look past beyond the students.
Way to God, if Kettles is missing.
Fucking Simon again, isn't it?
4 students are gone. And one of them is indeed Simon Kettles.
I knew it!
And Ebony, you can look and you can see it looks like they're going south towards the Crabapple Grove. But you can only see their silhouettes kind of disappearing in the trail in the distance. And that's where we're going to end this episode of Kids on Brooms.
Oh, snap.
Simon Kettles.
God damn it, Simon.
You little
Kettles.
beastie.
Kettles.